If I say I don't believe in the authority of God or theism, or that natural rights exist only as far as your peers are willing to agree that they do, or that there is no inherent value within any given thing other than that which one ascribes to it, then I'm usually, at least on one of these fronts, met with an almost hostile reaction to what could only have been taken as a direct offense. Yet all I have done is share my opinion. And let's not even mention victimless crimes, the atrocities within the legal eye-for-an-eye non-rehabilitation system, or the flaws of mob-rule democracy. Atheists are more few than theists. Nihilists, or subjectivists, are more hard to come across than anarchists. And these anarchists are certainly more rare still than any of the previous three. And when you have a person deeply postmodern in their view of archons or truth claims, and by default classified by these groups, there are few that sit at their table for lunch. But then again, I seem to view most every traditional orthodox approach to societal situations as the lowest common denominator of intelligent idea. These commonized ideas are counter-logical and misguided, usually by governments, because of the class of folk that take your money to lead you have no interest in you being able to do this yourself, ergo, retarded ham-handed social policy. So many of our ideologies are poisonous, like ownership. Ownership of both things and people is a significant portion of the problem that afflicts us through our society, in marriage, government, and religion, and in all the cultural influences these institutions have on us. There is a sense of ownership of the participant in government as a taxpayer and recipient of social goods, and in religion through the same, tithing and charity, and in marriage as well. When there is ownership in regards to humans, as in the case of all countries being nothing more than borders or fence lines for the cattle within, the owners have an expectation of their property, whereas the owned have a sense of selflessness. But anytime one party demands and the other party is under duress to provide, there will be a struggle to reform. When this dynamic ensues, there will be a counter-struggle to have the positions maintained, causing much damage to the masses. This is seen in the creation of ultimate law and hierarchy. Then, the use of these things to oppress those without objective to rule. Therefore, self-governance is never created nor opted for. Who would make the money off of the herd in that situation? Post-Modernism, I believe, has its highest effect through anarchy as opposed to nihilism or atheism, other than to dismantle the general adherence to truth claims. Anarchy, however, pierces the shield of authoritative rule by focusing on the most influential culmination of modernity, the state, an institution more powerful and influential in these days than religion in current times and places. It takes a monopoly on truth claims, its ethical stance is igneous by force of death, and its legitimacy stems from participation in choosing how bad the slaughter will be. This is why I sometimes understand the extreme patriots, New World Orderers, and truthers in their fear and frustration of the current situation. You ask anyone on the street if Washington is messed up or corrupt, and you'll hear plenty of affirmations of this. We can all see the water rising on the ship, yet we sit and listen to the band play on. Those who go alerting of impending doom are discarded as hysterics. When arguing, people want to hear the answer. They say, if not government or a state to take care of us, then what? If not a God or theology to tell us how to live, then who? Or more accurately, if not what I thought of as true, then what? And that's the real trick. What they want is a more accurate depiction of the shadows on the wall, and so when one tries to sell them on the notion that the shadows are only a distraction from what is real, it's a tough pitch. They want a yes or no, a right or a left, a right or a wrong, hopelessly addicted to the dichotomy of fallacy, forever bound by seeing the self versus the other, the me versus the you, and the this versus the that. Why is it that no one has created a free society of scientific-minded folk dedicated to the idea of emergent governments, save the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance? Why is it that every acre is taken, every body is claimed, every effort is taxed, and it's only getting worse, with these carbon taxes, charges for water, the support of a failing federal institution. There seems to be no hope for it. And to move into a second thought here, I'll concede that once one has become either atheist or nihilistic, it is more probable that a person will become an anarchist. It's the rejection of archons and the acceptance of emergent, fluid, or evolving solutions for even political problems. Atheism substitutes the non-answer of God with obtaining data through rigorous scientific testing. And this can be viewed as more surreal than the most obscure religion. Nihilism, or subjectivism, much like anarchy, takes care of the ethical issue through opening up the selection unto infinity through emergent choice. Though removing the state has more influence on the masses than the individual deciding to act without social norms due to one's ability to dictate the actions of others through the medium of the state. It seems to me a logical conclusion, though that might be a detracting attribute, that atheism and nihilism, or subjectivism as I think it's more useful, it equals anarchism. And what is anarchism? In theory, more than just the generalized non-acceptance of archons. So, atheism is revealing the God-archon fallacy, and nihilism is revealing the truth claim fallacy, and then more able to be utilized through subjectivism. And anarchism is realizing the state archon fallacy.